So we can go ahead and just come to the back of your mat and take a child's pose. And just spread your legs or knees rather nice and wide. Go ahead and settle your hips back towards your heels. Just allow yourself to really soften into this. Let the belly go. Also really nice just to find that release here with the belly. And then just come into your breath here. Softening into this moment. Kind of allowing anything that you'd like to release from your day. Let it kind of just tumble on out into the earth, out of the forehead. Just giving it away here. And then slowly begin to make your way to a tabletop position. We'll just take a little bit of time here just to find some easy circles through the body, circling through the left, through the right. You can bring the head into this. Allow this to be really intuitive and again, allowing your breath just to guide you through this. I'm just sort of tapping into anything that the body might be needing. And continuing to allow the breath to deepen even more through this movement. And then slowly go ahead and bring yourself forward through the hips. Hips come forward, shoulders soften down, toes and heels lift up here. And then as you exhale, bring yourself back into your child's pose. Gorgeous. And we're going to move through another one of those. Toes and heels rise up behind you. Heart open, shoulders soften down the back. We're moving through, opening through the heart chakra this evening. And exhale to draw this back. It can sometimes be a little daunting to move and work through that chakra. And so we'll take our time with it. Be easy on yourself. Go ahead and walk the palms forward bit by bit, and then keep the hips right over the knees as you begin to soften the heart and the chest down to your mat. Coming into puppy pose here. And so you might be able to lower the chest all the way down. You might just find yourself lowering the chin down or just kind of softening the heart down towards the mat. And wherever you're at with this, just find some space to open across the heart and through the back. And then on the inhale, you're going to lower the belly and hips down, extend the legs long behind you as you transition into Sphinx Pose, sending the heart forward and engaging through the belly. And take a moment here just to really align the elbows underneath the shoulders. And to find this openness. And so Sphinx Pose is beautiful for opening up the heart, but really also powering up Manipura, the chakra that governs your solar plexus in this space of power. Beautiful. Deep inhale in here. And then as you exhale, begin to tuck the chin into the chest. Tops of feet remain flat, and then go ahead and lift up the belly, lift up the hips and thighs away from the ground. And then exhale to bring this all the way back down. Setting the heart forward again, soften shoulders down the back. And we'll take that again. Lifting up the hips, engaging through the belly. And then go ahead and soften this down. From here, we're going to take the arms out to the side, bringing the palms up away from the ground, resting on the fingertips. And then soften down to the earth. And then slowly begin to lift up, allowing the right shoulder to ripple up and away from the ground. And take that ripple up and down to the left shoulder. So left shoulder comes down to the ground. Inhale to lift up to the left shoulder, extend and open wide through the heart and space, and then release the right shoulder down. Beautiful. So a couple more here. Just taking a moment to observe. Again, this is also activating the solar plexus, and the belly, and the heart space. And so a lot of things that we store in all of these areas. So if you notice a lot coming up, absolutely normal. Beautiful. We'll take one more here. And then go ahead and bring this to center. Bring palms back underneath the shoulders. And press up to tabletop position. Tuck the toes under and lift the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, coming into downward facing dog. Spread the palms nice and wide. Keep those hips lifted. Let the knees be nice and soft here. You can pedal this out if you'd like to. Widen through the shoulders. And as you inhale, bring this forward into high plank. That feels too intense, you can go ahead and lower the knees. Otherwise, hold this here. Beautiful. And then slowly bring the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Continue to press into the palms of the hands in this downward dog. And then slowly, once again, begin to float this forward, high plank pose. Beautiful. You can sort of bring yourself forward over to the toes to lift up through the heart. And then as you exhale, let the belly initiate this draw back and up to your downward dog. Beautiful. So we're going to add a little more fluidity to this. Coming forward to high plank. Exhale to soften the knees down. Go ahead and take some circles through this. Moving through that transition from high plank to downward dog. Really energize through the palms of the hands. Allow them to support you here. Imagine you're pressing the palms towards each other on the mat. If you want to scrunch the mat up in between them. And then on the exhale, release the right palm down and soften the left heel down. We're going to start to reach the left arm up to the sky and extend that arm over the left ear. And slowly begin to swoop that arm in front of the face and up towards the sky. Your gaze can follow that thumb if you'd like to. And you can go ahead and keep taking that around. Beautiful. And then go ahead and release the left palm down to the ground. Raise the left heel up and extend the right arm forward, finding a balance here. Keep the gaze down. Keep that arm reaching forward. Sorry about that sound. That was a little teapot. Exhale, elbow and knee draw in towards you, underneath you. Inhale to reach. And exhale to draw this in once again. Beautiful. Inhale to reach long. Really press that heel nice and long behind you. Imagine you're pressing into a wall. And then we'll bring that reach in once again. Gorgeous. Find a nice long reach. And then open this out. Awkward airplane. Right arm swings open. Left toes draw forward. Beautiful. Extend the right arm forward and then down to the ground. Cross the left leg behind you, coming to the top of the foot. You can take a little glance back behind you to find those toes behind you if you'd like to. And then relax the left knee down to the ground behind the right knee. And then you're going to go ahead and bring this back to sit down. Now, if this feels super high and uncomfortable, you can open this a little wider if you'd like to. Arms rise up. And then right arm comes underneath the left arm. Maybe you find your palms here. Maybe you find a nice cozy hug for yourself here. Elbows lift up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, bring this forward and down. This can be a little hunch in. Just make sure you're still squeezing. Or if you have a longer torso, perhaps you start to fold down forward over the legs, coming all the way down in front of the knees. Also tapping in with how your hips are feeling this evening. Beautiful. Gorgeous. And then slowly rise this up. Keep squeezing, squeezing, and then go ahead and release this down. Separate the knees. Beautiful. Tuck the toes. Bring the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And we're going to move right forward into those circles again. Really engaging through the center. Keep the arms nice and steady. Keep the arms nice and activated. So activating through the palms, through the wrists and forearms. Elbows in one line. Beautiful. Biceps activated, shoulders and shoulder blades open like little butterfly wings here. We'll take one more swoop, coming back and forward. High plank pose. Gorgeous. Lowering the left knee down this time to drop the right heel down right behind those toes. Right arm rises up to the sky. So finding a nice balance here in this supported side plank Stasana. Right arm taking that circle around. And really locating every single bit of this circle with your breath and with that extended arm and the fingertips. You got it. Gorgeous. Right palm comes all the way down to the ground. Come onto the ball of the right foot here and then lift the right heel up behind you. Nice long extended leg. Find your footing and then extend the left arm forward. Keep the gaze down on the mat. Back of neck is nice and long. Deep breath in. Exhale to draw this in. Beautiful. Inhale to reach. And then exhale to bring it in again. Gorgeous. Reach it forward. And exhale to draw it in. Inhale to reach. Exhale to draw it in. You've got it. Find that nice long reach and then open us out. So right toes draw forward, left arm opens to the left. Engage through the center. Let it support you. Bring this forward for a nice long reach. Release the left palm down. Point the toes behind you as you come onto the top of that foot. Give a little glance back there. Beautiful. And we're going to deepen into this hip stretch. Releasing right knee down behind the left. And then slowly coming to the back of the mat to sit. Arms lift up. Widening this leg, crossing if you need to. And then left arm crosses underneath the right. Find your palms or your little hug for yourself. Arms lift up as you squeeze, squeeze, squeeze here. And then exhale, keep squeezing as you draw this in and forward. Beautiful. We're going to bring it in, open it up, give that all away, and then bring yourself forward back onto your mat, tabletop position. Beautiful work. Toes tucked, hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Slowly start to walk the feet forward as you come into your forward fold. You can hold on to opposite elbows here if you'd like to. And take a little sway back and forth. And then on the inhale, rise us all the way up, standing tall for Tadasana, mountain pose. Gorgeous. Soften the shoulders, down the spine. And find energy extending up to the fingertips here. Exhale, palms to heart center. And if you have an intention here that you'd like to imbue into your class this evening, find that here. Find that heartbeat behind your thumbs. Beautiful. And then inhale, rise this up. Exhale, bow it forward and down, forward fold. Inhale, guides you to your half lift. I'm going to step forward a little bit more to the front of the mat. And then exhale, plant the palms, step right foot and left foot back behind you, high plank pose. Bring that energy forward over the feet, coming onto the tops of the feet for upward facing dog. And then exhale, bring it up and back, downward facing dog. So you can always lower the knees, take a baby cobra, honor what you need. Heels lift, knees bend, travel forward, forward fold. Find that long extended spine in your half lift and let it go, forward fold. Inhale to bring it up. And we're gonna bring it right back forward and down, forward fold. Half lift, plant the palms, step it back with left and then right foot this time. Bending through the elbows, halfway to come forward into your back bend and back into your downward dog. Beautiful. So we'll take 2 more, just like that, moving through this with your own rhythm, your own breath. Beautiful. Taking the last one here as you bring it forward and down. And we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Beautiful. Right heel floats up and back behind you. Exhale, knee to chin. Inhale, take that heel up and back, strong, long leg. Exhale, knee to chin. We'll take that one more time, pressing that heel up and back, strong, energized legs. Step it all the way forward and through, low lunge. Release the left knee down to the earth in this low lunge. As you start to rise, bringing shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Bring palms to clasp on the top of that right thigh, just behind the knee. Softening hips forward just a little bit. Just notice what that feels like for the top, for the front of the left hip. And then slowly begin to extend arms forward and up. And then as you draw back and swoop those arms up, bringing the shoulders back over the hips. And then we're gonna bring this forward, softening through the hips just a little bit. And then open it up and back again. Gorgeous. Once again, bringing it forward and up. Palms clasp behind the head, elbows widen here. And if you'd like to, you can soften the back of the head into the palms of the hands, just taking the heart up to the sky. Imagining you shining it up towards the sunshine here. Beautiful. Now we're gonna go ahead and release that up. If you have that block and you'd like to use it, you can bring it to the left side, maybe underneath the left palm or fingertips. Otherwise, release the fingertips down, taking a side stretch here, reaching the right arm over. And then we'll just take it to the opposite side. Gorgeous. Go ahead and bring this up through center and then open into a twist. Right arm extends back, left fingertips forward. And then release the left palm down, reach that right arm up, tuck left toes under to lift the left knee away from the ground, reaching that palm forward and down to the earth. Right heel floats up and back, strong, long, three-legged dog. And we'll take a moment here to open up through this if you'd like to. So you can bend through that right leg, circle it out, move through the hips, move through any kinks, and then release the foot down. Inhale sends you forward to your high plank, upward facing dog, and back to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Left heel floats up and back. Exhale, knee to chin. Inhale to float it up and back. Exhale to draw it forward and in. Really arching through the spine, curling that forward. Heel lifts up. One more time, curling that forward, and then stepping the foot forward and through, low lunge. Release the right knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale to send the arms forward and up, and then bring the palms to clasp on top of that left thigh. Taking a moment here to sit up or halfway stand tall. As you soften the hips forward just a little bit by bit. Allowing your breath to create a little more space. Release the arms, swoop them forward and up. And then exhale to draw the body back into that straight line. Inhale to send this forward. And exhale to swoop it open. Beautiful. Inhale to bring this forward. Take that swoop. We've got one more here. Palms clasp behind the head, elbows open, heart lift. Gorgeous. Release the arms up to the sky. Go ahead and bring that block over to the side if you're using it, and then release the fingertips down to the right. Left arm reaches over that way. And if you want to, you can also change the gaze, maybe lifting it up towards the sky or even down towards the ground. Beautiful. Go ahead and switch sides. It's totally normal for it to be completely different on each side. Gorgeous. And then bring this up to center. Open it into your twist. Right arm forward, left arm back. Perhaps following that left fingertip back with your gaze. Release the right palm down. Tuck the toes under to lift the right knee up. Big breath in to swoop that left palm forward. Weight into the palms. Left heel floats up and back. Three-legged dog. Open this out. Let this be a party for those hips, for that left leg. Find some space to circle this out. Release it down. Inhale forward. Take your flow. Exhale brings you back to your downward facing dog. Lift up through the heels. Travel forward. Bring toes and heels together. Bend through the knees. Bring arms up either alongside the ears or to heart center as you transition into Tadasana pose. And send the hips forward as you soften through the lower spine. Softening through the lower spine in order to create more length and more space there. Beautiful. And we're gonna open this up to the sky and then take a twist to the right. Right arm draws back. Inhale to straighten up into our Tadasana pose. Exhale, palms to heart center to sit the hips back down. Beautiful. Open this to a twist to the left. Sitting down a little deeper, you got it. And then release that left arm, rise this up, maybe a tiny back bend at the top here. Heel to the feet so that they're back underneath the hips, and then exhale, bow this forward and down, forward fold. Half lift on the inhale, plant the palms, step or hop back to your high plank. Take your flow. And if you're hopping back, make sure you're hopping back to bent elbows, just giving the joints some well-deserved love and care and protection here. Right heel floats up and back behind you on the inhale. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale to float it up again. And knee to left elbow. You've got it. Just like a little kiss to that elbow with that knee. And then exhale, knee to chin. Awesome. Plant that foot down. Spin the left heel down behind you. Inch that foot forward as close to the front foot as you would like to. And begin to straighten through the right leg. Moving into pyramid pose. You can really release that left hip down if you'd like to. Release forward over that right leg. And find your breath. Find all of the space here that you need. And then we're going to pulse it forward, just softening through that right knee into that deep bend again. Send the heart forward. And then we'll take it up again. Straightening through the right leg, releasing forward over the leg. You've got it. Nice deep bend through that right leg. Arms reach up to bring you into warrior one. Beautiful. Keep the right knee over the front toes. And then we're going to begin to straighten through the right leg as you swoop the arms back behind you. Inhale, bring this forward. And exhale to bring it back, straight leg. Inhale, forward again. And then straighten to bring it up and around to the back. Beautiful. Inhale to bring this forward. We're going to lift the left heel off of the ground and begin to extend this forward into a power lunge over that front leg. Engage through the belly, soften through the shoulders. Find your breath. Inhale to bring this up and back to a twist. Right arm reaches back, left arm forward. Shoulders over hips. And if you want to, right palm can come back to the back of that left thigh. Left arm rises up for a back bend here. Keep bending through the right leg. Sometimes it's easy to kind of leave it out of the transaction here. And then we'll bring this up, spin the left heel down, open this up and out, warrior two. Right heel adjusts so that it bisects the arch of the back foot in your warrior two. Find your gaze forward. Just taking a moment to find all of the openness here. Reach that right arm forward, bring this back for a reverse warrior. Beautiful. And then exhale, right forearm to right thigh, left arm over left ear. Staying here, or perhaps extending right arm alongside right ear. Sending heart forward, sending hips forward as well, as you spiral that heart open to the sky. Gorgeous. We're gonna bring this back to warrior two, straighten through the right leg, and then begin to reach those fingertips forward, bringing right palm down, left arm up to lift for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Keep the shoulders nice and soft here. Really ground down through the feet in order to find more lift through the torso and the shoulders. And then slowly begin to bend through the right leg. Bring the left palm to the top of the left hip. Beautiful. If you want to, you can bring a block just beyond your toes here. And then spring off of that left foot to move into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. When you're ready, left arm can rise up. Toes flex behind you. And if there's a variation here you'd like to try, maybe bringing palm to heart, or even bending through that left leg to find the top of the foot with the left palm. Explore that. Beautiful. And then go ahead and take a deep bend. Bring this through, warrior two. Straighten through the right leg, turn the toes in, open the left toes out. Take a deep bend as you clasp the palms behind you, lift up through the heart, and bow this to the inside of that left leg, humble warrior. Beautiful. Release the palms, turn the left toes in, bring yourself to the center of your mat in between the legs for a wide-legged forward fold. Staying here as you are, or perhaps clasping the palms behind you here to draw the knuckles up to the sky, maybe releasing the head down a little closer to your mat. Try and keep the energy drawing forward over the toes. Nice, and then release the palms down, heel toe that right foot all the way to the edge of the mat as you come onto the ball of the left foot, palms on the inside of the right foot. Left knee can lower down here for lizard pose. Beautiful. So opening up through the heart space here, but always creating a little room to give those hips some love and mobility as well. Bring the palms into the earth. Bring that knee back alongside the left knee. Tuck the toes. Bring this up and back, downward facing dog. You've got this. Heels lift. Beautiful. Hop this forward. Forward fold. Bring it all the way up, standing tall, Tadasana. Bring it forward with the heart. Forward fold. Gorgeous. We're gonna take that up again, big, strong lift, standing up tall, exhale, bow this forward and down. Inhale, half lift, plant the palms, hop it or step it back, your back bend. guides you back to your downward facing dog. We're gonna take 2 deep breaths here. Deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And again, deep inhale in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Left heel floats up and back. Second side, you got this. Left knee kisses that left elbow. Inhale, heel draws up and back. Exhale, knee kisses the right elbow. You've got it. And then heel draws up and back. Exhale, draw that knee forward towards the chin. Beautiful. And then plant that foot down. Spin the right heel down behind you. Adjust it as you need as you begin to straighten through the left leg. And take a moment to find this space. To find your breath. Beautiful. Soften through that left knee. Come up onto the fingertips to keep the heart open, shoulders back. And then beautiful. We're going to pulse it up again. Coming into the pyramid pose. Hips rise. Soften the body forward over that left leg. Gorgeous. And then soften through that left knee. Inhale, rises you all the way up. Warrior one. Hopefully finding some electric fingertips here as you find this. And then circle the arms back as you straighten through that left leg. And then go ahead and circle this forward. Gorgeous. Circle it up and back. Bring it forward. Beautiful. We'll take that again here. Bring it up and forward, and then slowly start to lift the right heel off of the ground. Extend this into that long power lunge. Let that breath support you. Beautiful. Bring this up to rise and open into your twist. Right arm forward. Left arm back. Perhaps transitioning into a back bend. Left palm behind the right thigh. Keep the shoulders soft. Keep a nice bend through that left leg. Again, reminding myself just as much as you guys. And then bring that right heel down, palms through heart center. Open this up and out. Warrior two. Find the gaze forward. Take a moment just to find this. Find your breath, find all of that glorious space. And then left arm reaches forward, bring this up and back, reverse your warrior. Left forearm to the top of the left arm, right arm over the right ear. Supported side angle. Staying here or extending that left arm alongside the left ear. Spiraling shoulders up to the sky wherever you are with this. Allowing your center to really support you here. Beautiful. We're going to open this up and back. Reverse triangle pose, straightening through the left leg. And then reaching the right hip to the back of the room. The left palm down to that left shin or ankle, maybe your block, maybe all the way down to the ground. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Beautiful. And then soften through that left knee. Right palm comes to the top of that right hip. If you're using that block, go ahead and find it. Bringing it just beyond the toes. Either way, bring your gaze just beyond the toes and then spring off of that right foot as you reach the right arm up for half moon pose. And again, just like everything else, completely normal for this to feel completely different on one side than the other, from side to side. One more breath. And then soften through that left knee, step that right foot back. Open this up wide, warrior two. You got it. It's just yoga on a Tuesday night. No big deal. Straighten through the left leg. Turn the left toes in. Open those right toes out. Warrior two towards the back of the mat. Palms clasped behind you. Heart lifts to the sky. Bow this forward to the inside of that right leg. Humble warrior. You can let that thigh support you here or drop down as far as you'd like to the inside. Taking what feels good here. Beautiful, and then release the palms down, turn the toes, right toes in as you come into a forward fold. Letting the head go. Maybe clasping the palms again if you'd like to, or taking a variation that brings a little more energy into this, clasping palms underneath the edges of the feet. And then I'm gonna align my feet. Bending through the elbows to draw the head down towards the earth. Beautiful, and then slowly spin the left toes open, walk the palms forward, coming onto the ball of the left foot as you release the right knee down to the ground, lizard pose. Beautiful, bring the weight into the palms of the hands, inch that left foot so that left knee comes back to meet the right knee. Widen the knees and take the hips back to heels. And coming into child's pose, Malasana. Allowing something else that you'd like to release to be set free here. Gorgeous. And then slowly bring yourself into your tabletop position. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back. Downward dog. Gorgeous. Heels lift, knees bend, hop to the front of the mat, letting the feet come to the outside of the palms for our Malasana squat pose. Bringing palms to heart center. Take a little sway with this back and forth if it feels good. And then go ahead and release the right arm long and take the left arm up, a little diagonal reach. If that doesn't feel so good, you can just keep the palms back at heart center. And if you find yourself needing a little more support here, you can always bring that block right underneath the hips to sort of find a little more support from the ground, building that ground up to you. Palms come to heart center, and then take this to the opposite side. Right fingertips reach up, left fingertips extend, falling down towards the earth. Beautiful. Palms to heart center, release the palms down. And then heel toe the feet back underneath the hips. We're gonna start to rise up, coming to stand nice and tall. Gorgeous. I'm just gonna adjust this for you a little bit. Beautiful. And so from the standing position, you're gonna really ground down through the feet. Extend the left arm up and then bend through the right leg. And then go ahead and take the right palm so that it faces the arch of the right foot. Keep the knees nice and close together. And then make sure that right palm is at the inside of the foot and not grabbing onto the outside of the foot. Really root down through that left foot. Lift up through the heart. Let those fingertips extend up towards the sky. Keep thinking of lifting up as you begin to press the right foot into the right palm. Beautiful. So keep lifting up, 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 up. And then perhaps this is what begins to propel you bit by bit a little more forward. Another gentle reminder to soften the shoulders, soften the jaw, soften the eyebrows here. Gorgeous. And then slowly rise to bring this up. Release that foot down and shake this out. Take whatever feels good here. Lift this up and let it go. I'm just preparing for the other side here. Grounding down through the feet. Lifting up through that supporting standing leg as you begin to bend through the left leg. Again, finding that left palm, holding the arch of the left foot. Knees nice and close, right arm rises up. Keep reaching up towards the sky. High five towards the front of your mat. And then press that foot into the palm. Beautiful. And we'll slowly transition out of this. Gorgeous. Step those feet nice and wide to the edges of the mat. Palms come to heart center, and we'll come back into the Malasana squat. Just finding a few breaths here. Beautiful. And then go ahead and release the palms down. Heel toe the feet in. Keeping the palms where they are. You want to bring those toes right behind the wrists. And then come up onto the balls of the feet. Lifting the knees nice and high into the armpits, just behind the armpits. So creating a little shelf with your biceps. Moving our way into crow pose. So you can try this out. Sometimes it just begins with rocking the weight forward. Keep the gaze forward as opposed to down on the back, because it can also feel a little scary. So where that gaze goes, the body will follow. Engage through the pelvic floor to lift the toes off of the ground. Maybe you give find a little connection, touching those toes together as you do. We'll try that again. If you're here, we're gonna hold it here for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Release the feet down. Step this back. Take your flow. Exhale, downward dog. Right heel floats up and back. Exhale, right knee to right wrist. Release the left knee down as you set up for half pigeon pose. Lifting up through the heart. And then release forward over that right leg. Gorgeous. Beautiful. So we're going to start to rise up onto the palms. You can stay here, or if you'd like to add a little quadricep stretch onto this, adjust that back foot so it's right, the heel's right behind the knee. And you're going to bend through that left foot. Beautiful. Reach that right arm back to find the foot. Maybe the left arm floats up off of the ground. That feels weird. You're gonna actually reach up and back with the left arm. There you go. Finding it at the inside of that foot. Right arm reaches up. And so maybe eventually you can find your fingertips are gonna connect back here. That happens as that left foot slides back into the crook of your elbow. And just working your way up towards it. You can still find so many benefits just by lifting that right arm up. And that nice back bend. And then go ahead and release down and out of this. Tuck the left toes under, unthread that right heel up and back. And then bring this forward, take a flow if you'd like to, or stay just as you are on that downward dog. Exhale, brings you back. Left heel floats up and back. Exhale, knee to the left wrist. Soften that left shin down to the ground. Release that right leg long behind you. Lift up through the heart. And when you're ready, soften forward and down into your half pigeon. If there's anything you have left to give away and let go of, let it go here. Beautiful. And then walk the palms back towards you. Again, staying as you are. We're transitioning into little quadricep stretch and back bend, bending through the right leg. Finding the palm at the inside of the foot, just like we did in our standing dancer pose. And then left arm rises up if you'd like to. Just play around with the balance and dynamic of this stretch. Shoulders soft. One more breath. And release forward and down out of this. Tuck through the right foot. Unthread that left leg up and out. Shake it out. Let it go. Bring the blood flow back in. And take your final flow if you'd like to. Before we transition down to the ground. Beautiful. Soften the knees down to the earth. And then we're going to slowly start to rise up. Bringing shoulders over the hips. Hips over knees. Bring palms to the small of the back. Elbows guide straight back behind you. Fingertips face down. On the inhale, lift up through the heart. And then as you exhale, send the hips forward. Again, heart rises up on the inhale. And as you exhale, send the hips forward. And if there's space here for it, you can go ahead and release the palms down to the heels, bringing the thumbs to the outside, keeping heart lifted. Allow your breath to support you. And experiment with what happens if you stay here a little longer than you'd like to. This pose can be super emotional. And so not uncommon to want to avoid that. And slowly support yourself out of this. Release the hips down. We'll take the hips over to one side and extend the legs forward. Arms rise up, finding a bit of space here. Long spine. Exhale. Relaxing fold forward. If you'd like to find the feet here with the palms, you may. Otherwise, you can just relax them alongside the feet or legs. Beautiful. And then slowly rise up. You're going to hug that right knee in towards you. And then just take a little hug of that knee in as you wrap the left elbow around. Extend the right arm behind you into a twist. Glancing back over the right shoulder. Beautiful. And then open, just release that right knee down. We're gonna open that left leg out to the side. Left palm comes to the inside of the leg as the right arm reaches over the right ear. And perhaps switching the gaze up to that elbow or ceiling beyond it. And then release the right palm behind the right hip. Coming onto that right shin as the left arm rises up and over. Beautiful. And then release this down. Send the legs forward. And then draw the left heel in towards you this time. Taking a nice little hug of that knee with the right elbow. Left arm opens behind you for your twist. Sitting up nice and tall here in your twist. Beautiful. Release that left knee down to the ground. Keep that right leg nice and open as the right palm comes to the inside. Left arm reaches over the left ear. Beautiful. Left palm comes behind you. Right arm swoops up, hips draw forward, heart lifts up to the sky. And then exhale to soften this all the way down. Then bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Hips behind the heels, arms extend forward. Exhale to bring this back into Tadasana boat pose. So shins rise up so that they're parallel to the ceiling. You've got it. You can keep the fingertips reaching long or find more support by bringing them to the backs of the legs, whatever you choose here. On the inhale, toes reach away from you. And then as you exhale, knees come in. Keep the heart nice and open. Inhale to reach. Exhale to draw this in. You got this. Inhale to reach. Exhale to bring it in. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding here, you can take little scissor legs if you'd like to. Or just hold it. Beautiful, you did this. Release the feet, take those arms up a little. Yes, the fingers here, let it go. And then roll this all the way down onto your back. Hugging the knees in as you arrive. You can give a nice little rock here for that lower spine if you'd like to. And then let that left leg extend long, releasing the left heel down to the earth. Hug the right knee in. And then just cross that right leg over the left leg. Open the right arm behind you, moving into supine twist. Beautiful. Relax the right hip down. Extend the right heel and leg down as you hug the left knee in. Beautiful. And then cross that leg over to the right. Beautiful, and then slowly release that hip back down. Moving into any final movement you'd like to take before our Shavasana, knee shoulder stand, or happy baby, whatever feels good here. And then slowly release the legs down long. Allow the toes to fall away from each other. the palms face the ceiling as you relax through the back of the neck. Soften the jaw, and the eyebrows, and the temples. If you'd like to, you can close the eyes down here. Maybe find a blanket that will help you be more comfortable and warm. You can soften the shoulders and the elbows. Soften through the wrists and forearms, and the fingertips and the belly. Relax through the hips and the thighs, and through the knees and calves, and ankles and toes. You're welcome to remain here for as long as you'd like to. The longer the better, actually. However, if you'd like to transition out, begin to invite a little movement into the fingers and toes. Maybe find a big stretch up with the arms. Extend the legs forward. And then slowly bring yourself onto one side in fetal position. Really cradling your head with that bottom arm. Let the top arm drape over you. Extending gratitude to yourself for creating this space for your practice this evening. Extending gratitude to your body for supporting your practice this evening. And then begin to rise up as you press into that top palm, coming into a seated position. Palms at heart center, coming back to your intention. Maybe coming to a name of a person you'd like to dedicate your practice to tonight. And extend your love towards. The light in me bows to the light in each of you. Thank you so much for joining me here, and for being a part of this community. Namaste.